Greetings and salutations. Welcome back to Malrias' Musings. This is Malrias, your host with the most. And this is the first in a series on tarot deck reviews. I thought Halloween season would be a good time to introduce this. And the first one up on the list is the Phantomwise Tarot by Erin Morgenstern. And it's a black and white tarot deck. And it has a nice, like, how do I describe it? Almost a pulpy feel to it. I don't know if you can, when I rub my hand, I put that next to the mic, you can kind of hear my thumb against the card. There's some texture there, you know? Let's see. It's definitely a theme. Like I said, it's black and white. It's a themed deck. And it mixes elements from a Dream Circus and Alice in Wonderland. So at the time that the person who designed this, Erin Morgenstern, when she designed this deck, she was also writing a book called The Night Circus. And where it's basically just like a world that's like, you know, a dream world, you know. You can see some of the imagery here on the box. You know, from the Night Circus, you could see like the crossover, and it's not necessarily meant to like one is supposed to theme the other. It's not like, from my understanding, it's not like this deck is based on the book. It's just that Erin, Miss Morgenstern, she was in a creative place, and it kind of bled into both things she was doing at the same time. That's the impression that I get, which makes it very interesting because it takes elements of this dream circus, and it also ties it in with Alice in Wonderland, and it kind of gives you a unique deck, I think. And I haven't read the novel, and I haven't really read with this deck yet, but I kind of want to. I haven't decided if I want to make it just a collector or an actual like used deck, but I'm thinking of using it because one of the reasons is it's got some unique symbolism, but also, I mean, it's one of those decks where it's got action going on. Like she's running here, you know, they're facing each other, they're dancing, he's looking. When the last deck that I did a drawing with, and I said I really don't like this as a deck. It wasn't just the vibe. Like the horror vibe was a little bit too dark for what I was trying to do. But at the same time, like if your whole deck is the same pose, then there's not much to read beyond just I drew a 6 of Pentacles, and I know that it has to do with my day-to-day life, and 6 usually is like overcoming the adversity of 5. The period of 5 that you came into. But when you have things happening on the card and there's action going on that and imagery, you can read that too, especially if it looks like if I drew these cards together, I might interpret it as she's chasing the rabbit's going over here to solitude. You can do things like that when you're doing a reading. Anyways, I like that there's things going on the cards. It's a very attractive box, a very attractive deck. I like that they do some different things with the, you know, it's not exactly the same as the death that you're used to, you know, but there's still that sickle, you know, the rain. And of course we know that death card usually has to do with new beginnings. So there's a death card. You know, the rain coming down, and she's got the umbrella, Ella, A. And, you know, judgment. They went with the Egyptian Book of the Dead on this one. You know, the judgment after death. But I'm a card fan, but anybody who hears me talk any significant time about tarot, at some point you're going to hear me say that, you know, having a good deck is one thing, but good spreads. Having a good spread is also just as important because you want the symbol to associate with something. And I gotta say, I really like the spreads that came with this, because in the beginning of the book, there's like 3 spreads, and they're themed with the deck. So like, you've got the Dream Child spread, walking the line between sleeping and dreaming to better comprehend both. Card 1, the Dreamer, the querent's current position. Card 2, Dreaming, the unconscious, hidden influences or something unseen. And then card 3, Waking, the conscious, outside influences or actions to be taken. That's the first one. I don't want to read through all of them because, you know, she worked very hard on this, and I don't want to give her stuff away. But this is the Celestial Navigation spread, and the third one, and that's a 6-card spread, and then there's a 7-card spread down the rabbit hole spread. So that ties in really great with the Alice in Wonderland motif. So all in all, I think this is an amazing deck. I think if you collect, I think this is something that should be in your collection. If you read, I think this might be a good thing to read with, especially if you into like Jungian stuff and unconscious and, you know, dream stuff. It's very Jungian, you know. So I highly recommend this deck in either case. I'm probably going to start reading with it a little bit, but I haven't yet, just because I wanted to do this review first before I did that. I wanted this to be, the unveiling to be here with y'all. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap up this review. I'll give it high marks. I recommend it. And I'll see y'all on the flip.